Tech fired up finally on Wednesday after some difficult days because the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, came in and showed that both core inflation and the headline number had increased 0.3% for the month, which was expected. There was fear that it was going to be worse than that. There was relief that it wasn't much worse than that. And it had already been priced in that it was going to be somewhat bad by the bad days that preceded the announcement. So it was kind of a big relief rally on Wednesday. And tech took off. It was a great day for day trading. The TQQQ, which is a triple leverage fund on the 100 largest companies on the NASDAQ. I added two new technology stocks, Twilio, whose symbol is TWLO, and Bock, whose symbol is SQ because it used to be called Square. They changed the name in 2021 to Block. And my old favorites, Reddit, and of course you have to have Bitcoin with the Fidelity Bitcoin ETF, which is FBTC, as Bitcoin has gone over $100,000 and looks like it's going to stay there finally. The QQQ, the ETF of the 100 largest companies on the NASDAQ, finally took off on Wednesday after having a difficult week previously. It went up 1.3%, as you can see on the chart, on Wednesday, and the TQQQ went up 3.5%. Which is a nice gain for the day. And it was certain that it was going to go up on Wednesday if it wasn't a worse number than what was expected, because it was already priced in because the previous days were pretty bad for tech. A stock I added, Twilio, symbol TWLO, is a stock that I traded during 1920 and 21 when you could buy anything and it went up. And it was one of Kathy Wood's favorites. I don't know if she's still trading it. She might be. It's an artificial intelligence stock. And I think it's important to know what the stock does. Twilio is a cloud communications company that provides tools for making and receiving phone calls, sending and receiving text messages, and other communications functions. Twilio's tools are used by businesses to personalize business interactions and engage with customers. Some examples of how Twilio is used include customer support, chatting with customer support, appointment reminders, receiving appointment reminders, rideshare drivers, messaging the drivers, personalized coupons, receiving those coupons in your inbox, and video conferencing with your doctor. Twilio's tools include SendGrid, delivers email messages reliably at scale. The serverless environment, build, deploy, and run apps with Twilio's serverless environment and visual builder, phone numbers, access any phone number, video calling, connect virtually with secure, high-quality video calling at a global scale, a messaging platform, send and receive multi-channel business text messages. Twilio's core technology is TWIML, which allows developers to respond to real-world events using the same languages and protocols they've already been using in their web applications. And looking at the chart, you can see that Twilio is really taking off since the end of October. It's gone up from 70 to 112. It's made almost 49% since year to date, and it's undervalued. It's considered to be worth about $135. Its price to earnings is 27, which is low for this type of stock, since its earnings growth rate is a excellent 40%. So it looks like it's still a buy. Its relative strength is about 75, which is good. The other stock I added was SQ, which is Block. It used to be called Square, and that's why it still has the SQ symbol. And it's a fintech stock. It does all form of finance software for both businesses and individuals. And I think the reason they changed their name to Block is because they do a lot of Bitcoin. And you can have your own personalized Bitcoin wallet with Block. And I think that's why they changed their name to Block, because of the blockchain. I've seen people on the internet say that this is the best blockchain investment, as a matter of fact. Looking at the chart, you can see it's made almost 29% since the beginning of the year, and it's taken off since October, where it was around 65, and now it's at 98. So it's really had an excellent recent quarter. Block is considered to be very much undervalued as its value is around $147. Its price to earnings is only 22, which is excellent for a stock like this. Its earnings growth rate is a fabulous 35%. So this stock is still a buyable stock, and its relative strength is 65%. So it's not overbought. I'm showing you Reddit as a point of comparison to show you how reasonable, comparatively reasonable, Twilio and Bock are. Reddit's price to earnings and its valuation is so stretched, but it's a mistake to get out too early. You're ahead to ride these stocks as long as you can when they have momentum like this, in my point of view, and to set a stop loss, a trailing stop loss of a certain percentage, whatever you can stand, and let that play out, because I've just seen it in my own trading to be too much of a mistake to get out of a hot stock too early. At the beginning of the year, Reddit was trading at about $50. It's now at $166 in the aftermarket, and its value is considered to be about $15. It's a little bit overvalued, I would say. Its price to earnings is 259. That even does Tesla's early days, outdoes Tesla's early days somewhat. Its earnings growth rate is good, though. It's a very excellent 33%. But wow, that's some valuation that it has to live up to. And like I say, I always wonder when it goes down, is this the big one? And I got to decide whether to jump back in. And so far, I've been jumping back in, but I am waiting for the big one on this one. And lastly, I own Bitcoin through Fidelity's ETF for Bitcoin, which is FBTC. And looking at the chart, you can see it's taken off in November. It's made 111% over the last year. So it's done well. The problem with Bitcoin is it goes into this crypto winter. And when crypto winter starts, or I get an inkling of it, I will be long gone. But I will trade it off and on as it looks ready to spring. At the time of this recording, Bitcoin is at about $101,000. Be sure to check back, as I think we may be at the beginning of the Christmas rally. Thank you.